Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I also want to thank our Italian colleagues for the able leadership of the organization throughout the year. Mr. Chairman, this is a special year for Armenia. The victory of the peaceful Velvet Revolution in May manifested the decisive role of the resolve of the Armenian public to embrace progress and reforms to fight corruption, strengthen the justice system and the rule of law, consolidate democracy, human rights and fundamental freedoms. The public protests in Armenia have demonstrated the strength of our public, of our institutions, of the public institutions, civil society, and their evolution to a considerably high level of political maturity and legal literacy. Of particular significance is the distinctly strong role of the youth and women who stood at the forefront of the revolution. In 3 days, we will hold early parliamentary elections. The Armenian people will be guaranteed to genuinely make their choice. This is our firm and unwavered political will. In line with our commitments and to ensure transparency of the electoral process, the Armenian government has invited relevant international organizations, including the OD and the OSCE Parliamentary Assembly, to observe the elections. Mr. Chairman, 30 years ago, the people of Nagorno-Karabakh stood up in a renewed struggle against historical injustice and for self-determination, human dignity and freedom. The rejection to acknowledge these basic human rights and the use of force against their peaceful aspirations is the root cause of the conflict. The existential threat to the security and the lives of the people of Nagorno-Karabakh is the existential root of the conflict. For 3 decades, the people of Nagorno-Karabakh have been resolute in building life and institutions in dignity and resisting atrocities, coercion and aggression. The continuation of the coercive policy, the use of force or threat of use of force adhered by Azerbaijan only prolonged the resolution of the conflict, incurring further suffering of all peoples of the region. There is no alternative to the peaceful negotiated settlement. The illusions of making gains under the barrel of the gun are doomed to failure. The new government of Armenia has firmly reiterated its commitment to the exclusively peaceful resolution of the conflict under the auspices of the OSCE Minsk Group co-chairmanship. The political transformation in Armenia has not affected the peace process, and in the past 7 months, we have been engaged in a dynamic way in meetings and discussions. During the meetings between the Prime Minister of Armenia and the President of Azerbaijan at the end of September in Dushanbe, practical agreements were reached on the reducing risks and consolidation of risks of escalation and consolidation of ceasefire and the establishment of operational line between the sides. Yesterday, I had a meeting with my Azerbaijani colleague, third time in 6 months. We came out with a joint statement together with the heads of the delegations of the co-chair countries. It is encouraging indeed that we managed to agree on a common text. It reiterates the importance of implementation of the understanding reached in Dushanbe to work intensively to further reduce tensions in the conflict zone and prepare the populations for peace. An atmosphere conducive to peace is essential for the negotiation process. The Dushanbe arrangement, as well as the implementation of the previous agreements on confidence-building measures, will make a tangible contribution in this regard. Likewise, genuine efforts to prepare the populations for peace on all sides of the conflict and abandoning bellicose rhetoric and hate speech are as significant. Risk reduction measures need to be strongly supported by all OSCE participating states. Sale and delivery of offensive weaponry promotes the use of force and the threat of use of force. The involved participating states should reconsider their practices. What some may claim as business is a weapon of death to our people. The status and security of Nagorno-Karabakh are at the core of the conflict and thus of its resolution. Mr. Chairman, in 3 days, on 9 December, the world will mark the 70th anniversary of the UN Convention on Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide. In March this year, the UN Human Rights Council unanimously adopted a resolution on genocide prevention initiated by Armenia. In 2015, at our initiative, 9 December was proclaimed as International Day of Commemoration and Dignity of the Victims of the Crime of Genocide. Mr. Chairman, we have initiated a declaration with the delegation of Cyprus, and we hope very much that there will still be an opportunity to express the resolve of this body of the OSCE in support of this convention, which remains as relevant as ever. Mr. Chairman, in conclusion, I'd like to welcome Slovakia as an incoming chair and wish them every good luck and our support. Thank you.